Okay, so I've been doing like a lot of decoding, and if we go to the news tab for today, it's pretty easy to do this kind of stuff. Um, I already got some stuff that I've been looking at, but it's kind of weirdly about me, like the way I decode. Like other people like to point to like some cabal having power over certain events, but I think it's my Lord who has power over these events. Um, but this guy ended up going missing while hiking in the Smoky Mountains. And Smoky Mountains equals over here, we got 56, which is a pattern that I've noticed today, is the 56 pattern, because Storm Harry today also has been in the news with the 56. Uh, the Sicilian town. Notice the 77, like Will Register has that 77, and also Sicilian town in Sicily also shares 77. I thought was interesting, just how they reflect each other like that. Thought it was cool. There's also this 121 hidden in the extended of that, which I've also noticed today. Like huge landslide is what happened in the Sicilian town, where a whole town basically was nearly pushed off a cliff. So there's that 121. Governor Tim Walz has that 122 though, which 121 equals Antichrist and 122 equals Satanic. And so this is like the next thing or whatever, because he's actually being called to deal with the Minneapolis situation, which there's plenty of synchronicity in that as well. Also today, we celebrate the liberation of Auschwitz, which was liberated today in history. And just notice the 122 there. Um, abstraction. That's a cool one. Adoption, agreed. Anyway, so missing hiker though. Um, why did I thought that this was worth checking out? Well, I mean the 1155. When you consider Storm Harry is 155. I guess that's kind of a connection. Well, it is a connection, frankly. But North Carolina has 67, like Will Register is 67. Also, Human Sacrifice is 67. But this Chris Palmer, the guy who went missing, is 122 and 67. The 122 again being related to uh, Storm Harry. No, Sicily. No, I don't remember. Oh yeah, Governor Tim Walz, and then the huge landslide at 122. Anyway, but I can show you how I decode this stuff, and it's always related to me somehow. Bangor, Maine. I think I did this decode already before, so I don't really want to. But Bangor has that. Well, nothing that I can. Well, actually, I see a few things, but it has a 54. Today, the moon is going through uh, its 54th degree. The moon moves about, wasn't it 3 degrees? Yeah, perplexity. Tell me, how many degrees? 13 degrees. So uh, so it moved through that, but there's more to that story as well. The 54, like what was it? Who died? Was it University of no Franciscan University University of Steubenville. Two students found dead. Their names, uh, Mary Mitch. Mary Mitch here is, oh, Mary Mitch is ah Mary Mitch is 45, which is the reverse of 54, and then the person that she was in the car with, who they died from a carbon monoxide poisoning, is 53. It's one below, but lung equals 54, and breath equals 54, and they died by suffocating in a car. Also, this is 54 times 2, breath. Interesting that that's there to me. But yeah, I can go into Luke Reimer now, the boyfriend. Uh, Pretty much 54. And this 117 is significant as well. Well, with the 17 pattern and the 107 pattern because of Minneapolis. Minneapolis is 55. Wait, that's not what oh yeah, the 170 for Minneapolis, and then ice. Ice equals 17. And it's related to a bunch of stuff like that. But basically, yeah, Luke Reimer. Let me get back to where we were at, talking about the 54 with Luke Reimer and his girlfriend at 45, the reflection of 54. But anyway, and it makes sense when you think about duality and, a male and a female side and looking at things in reverse and stuff like that. Anyway, so, yeah, what else can we talk about? I guess we can go to the home and just look at the Alex Preddy. We can talk about the Alex Preddy case because Alex Preddy was 37 years old. And also note the 130 self. Really, I'm talking for myself on that one. But notice the 121 here. I didn't even notice that before, but that is significant. We don't really need that there. I don't need any of this here really, but we got like the Alex Preddy, and he died on Nicolette. He died on Nicolette, which is a 45. I think that he died on I don't know how to spell Nicolette. Alex Preddy Nicolette. I don't if it's Nicolette like this. Each Street. Yeah, here it is. Oh shit. Nicolette Avenue. So yeah, Nicolette is spelled that way, which is interesting just because of the 45, since we were just talking about that. And I just thought it was interesting too because of the 90, because basically January equals 90 and 45. I didn't notice that before either. But, and then Mary, Mitch, equals that 90 and 45 as well. So I just thought that made sense right there with Mary Mitch. So I guess we did need Mary Mitch in there still. And then Luke Raymer with his 54 being in there, rhyming pretty perfectly also with carbon being, 153 or 53 carbon. 360 in primes, cool name. Gotta love a circle. Well, if you're me and crazy. But yeah, and January, of course, is when the event happened, right? So that's why I include January in this. But anyway, Renee Nicole Good was her name. Not the 83 for murder. Also, the 70 kind of matches with the 71 situation. Plus, also, look, just get a little higher. 421. But yeah, usually it's in the media, just Renee Good. And note the 155 there. But I definitely think, though, that what makes the most sense is that it's Nicole, and she was 37 when she got killed. My sister's middle name is Nicole. I thought that was interesting as well, especially when there was a Lawrence thing that happened in Lawrence. What is it? fired shot outside Lawrence Bar, not guilty of murder. Okay, so they didn't get called. But yeah, it was in a bar, which is interesting because that teacher that walked out of a bar recently, Emporia teacher, walked out of a bar recently, leaving her jacket. My cat's name is Jack, but and her last name is Robber, like Jack, Rob, Robber, right? And she left her jacket in a bar and ended up being found dead uh, outside of a bar during the major snowstorm. She left her jacket in the bar, which is odd. So anyway, it's also interesting too because you can actually find the 77 in Emporia, and then if you KS, you got the 107 as well, which is again Minneapolis. Oh, it's 170. Maybe it was Minnesota. I don't. Let me just add that. It does have the 55. So Minnesota, Minnesota. This is also how you spell it. So I just want to do that. But yeah, I don't remember all the ice stuff, so it doesn't matter all that much. I mean, it kind of matters. I'm sure the pattern exists. I just don't know how to get back to it. But it's really not that hard to find the patterns and get back to them. Each street. This is the first I've heard of this, which I'm guessing it's gonna have something of significance, like the 130 again. Yeah. Each street has the 130. There's a few patterns here that I'm noticing that I didn't really pick up on before. These are all right. Anyway, but yeah, suffice it to say, I really do think that they're connected. The deaths of all of these different people. I legitimately think that my Lord has control over life and death, and that this really reveals that more than anything else. There are people who decode certain events, but I don't think they decode it quite like this. But they do decode some legitimate things and find out some legitimate information. I think that maybe they have theories that I would disagree with, but it doesn't really matter. Uh, doesn't matter all that much. But uh, hope you like my tool that I use to do this. It is just a gematria calculator with a calendar, and if I could get this to work very right, that'd be great. But I'm currently fixing some things with it. You know, because it'd be nice to be able to look look at this stuff without having to open up a new tab and also have Google News open and stuff like that. It'd be great to get this to work more effectively. Arizona shooting, one person injured, local authorities shooting in Arizona. No one is killed, but and there's no names involved here. Prima County. Prima. I was just talking about this with Jim and I about the primary interpretation of reality versus the blue pill interpretation of reality. Uh, I'm noticing a 133 again. Where was that at? Yeah, Minnesota. But Prima County, Border Patrol, that's related, certainly, I would say. Uh, yeah, I think it's related, obviously, because ICE agents and Border Patrol, they're essentially equivalently federal agents. There's a 45, but, or 54, 45, whatever. I don't know. to view here, but yeah, Department of Homeland Security are over both. I am curious what Department of Homeland Security is. 131, 5665. Anyway, I don't think there is much of a reason to do this, but this is the most popular word for 329, and I think I'm done with this video.